Okay, we're going to look now at, once we've completed our foam model and we've completed the model for our case using the styrene foam, we're going to look at modelling the clamp. Now, the clamp, if we go and look at this prototype, we can see the clamp here is made from mild steel and acrylic, and it has some cap head screws fitting it. So if we're to model that, we're going to use some different materials. We're going to use one of these, which is a scalpel. We're going to use a steel ruler, and we've got white card, some coloured card, and some foam board. Foam board is used for modelling, and it has foam material inside and a sandwich of 2 bits of card on the outside. So these are the materials we're going to use. Here's the clamp model that I built earlier, and you can see that this then can go with my foam model to make a complete model, and this is going to help us draw and develop further our ideas. So the first thing I used for this component was some foam board, and I took a piece of the foam board. If you're using a cutting mat like this, the cutting mat usefully has 10mm grids on it, so it's quite easy. You can mark with a pencil, or you can line up with the grid, and when you're cutting the foam board, use a sharp scalpel, use it at about 30 degrees, use the steel ruler. You need to watch your fingers here. Keep the scalpel up against the steel ruler, cut once, twice, 3 times. Don't try and saw through it with one cut. Necessary, even the last cut, and that's cut through it. Then we can cut it to size. If you want to curve the foam board, you can make a series of cuts through the first layer of foam, which does allow you to you can do some kind of curving if you want to curve it like that. So that's cutting that. Obviously that's that component cut from foam board. If you look at this component, how I made this, I cut 3 pieces of the foam board, glued them together, and then just shaped it into the piece that fits onto there. And last of all, this strap, which on the real thing would be made from mild steel, was cut from thin card. With the thin card, the same process, put the card on the cutting mat, use the steel ruler, necessary mark it with a pencil beforehand, or you can use the lines on the cutting mat, and again, don't try and cut it in one cut. Cut once, twice, 3 times will do it, nice and easy. If your clamp is a different design, then that's absolutely fine. As far as fixings, you could try modelling those with a small bit of foam, or you could just show them with a marker. It's not meant to be a definitive model, but it's meant to give you an idea of sizes, dimensions and materials that you might use, so that we've got one there, and if we look at that, that would give us an idea of the stuff we would use to make our final clamp. So that's modelling our clamp using foam board and card.